My name is Dr. Yolanda Irvin. I am the Executive Director for Multicultural Services and Programs. I welcome you to the Spring 2020 Lavender graduation. We congratulate and we praise your effort through your journey here at iState. We want to recognize our LGBT students and allies in this way. Lavender has been at iState since October of 2015 at the creation of MSP. Please thank the Planning Committee, Zach Moore, the alumni that have joined in this effort to bring this virtual ceremony, Melissa McAllister, Martha Reed, William Edwards, our Spectrum president, and our newly hired graduate assistants for the LGBT Student Resource Center, ARYN Long-Suter. We all bring greetings. We all wish you well. And remember, we will be here for you until the end. Sycamore Pride. Congrats.
Hello, my name is ARYN Long-Suter, and I'm currently the LGBTQ coordinator for Multicultural Services and Programs, and will soon be the LGBTQ Resource Center graduate assistant. I would personally like to congratulate all the students who are graduating during this difficult time. I would also like to thank the graduates that are participating in today's program and personally congratulate them on their personal achievements. To start our ceremony, I would like to introduce Dr. Andy Morgan, the Interim Vice President for Student Affairs, and Amanda A.J. Hobson, the Interim Dean of Students.
Congratulations, graduates. My name is Dr. Andy Morgan. I serve as the Interim Vice President for Student Affairs. I was hoping to spend your Lavender graduation with you in person, but unfortunately that is not the case. Please know that even though we are not able to celebrate in person, your graduation is not any less special. You have worked very hard over the course of your time at Indiana State. This time is a celebration, a milestone in your personal journey. You have worked hard, studied hard, and your hard work has paid off. Well done. Now your time as an Indiana State University student is coming to an end. You are and always will be a Sycamore. While here, you are a bright spot on campus. In your classrooms, in the LGBTQ Resource Center, the Office of Multicultural Services and Programs, to your academic advisors, your mentors, to your employers, and so many other spaces. We know you'll continue to shine in your communities with everyone you interact. We look forward to your return to campus as an alumnus to help our students learn and interact with you. As you begin your professional journey, please reflect upon ways you can help current students, perhaps by coming back as a guest speaker, serving as a mentor, or an internship at host site. I'm very proud of each of you and encourage you to keep striving to achieve your goals. Have your voices heard and look forward to the societal impact you will have as an Indiana State University alumnus. Congratulations again. We are very proud of you. Take care.
Sycamores, A.J. Hobson, Interim Dean of Students. One of my favorite writers, Neil Gaiman, once said to a graduating class, "Now go and make interesting mistakes. Make amazing mistakes. Make glorious and fantastic mistakes. Break rules. Leave the world more interesting for your being here." I concur. Leave the world and make those mistakes. Learn from them. Create change in the ways that each of you individually and uniquely can. Embrace yourself and your life with passion. Seek out the things that feed your soul and spark your imagination. Remember to always push yourself to learn. I can say with a great deal of certainty that you're already making the world a more interesting place. You've made Indiana State University a better and more vibrant place in your time here. You leave a legacy, which may have been made through mistakes and trials by fire, just as through your triumphs and joys. You've left a mark. We are forever changed because you have been here. Congratulations, Sycamore Class of 2020.
Thank you, Dr. Morgan and A.J. Hobson. So now I would like to introduce the Spectrum President, William Edwards.
On behalf of the group, on behalf of Spectrum as a whole, I would like to give thanks to those that are completing their time here at State. As somebody who's been a part of this for going on 6 years, I know what a great place that is to have, and I thank you all for being a part of it here at State, and congratulations. And as for in the fall, we will still be here on Tuesdays at 6 in room 321 in HMSU. So we hope to see you there back when we can all be together in person. Again, congratulations.
Thank you, Will. So to give a little history, Lavender graduation is an annual ceremony conducted on numerous campuses to honor lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and ally students and to acknowledge their achievements and contributions to the university. The Lavender graduation ceremony was created by Dr. Ronnie Sanlow at the University of Michigan in 1995. The annual ceremony was created to recognize LGBTQ students and acknowledge their achievements and contributions to the university. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Melissa McAllister, the faculty speaker for our program. Dr. Melissa K. McAllister is a new assistant professor in the Department of Social Work at Indiana State University. In her previous role as a professor for the University of ARYN School of Social Work, she served on multiple racial and social justice initiatives in the Summit County LGBTQ Task Force. She has been an activist in the LGBTQ community for over 22 years and started the first LGBTQ youth program in Akron, Ohio. Additionally, she was faculty liaison for students placed at the Cleveland Pride Center. In her role at ISU, she has already begun to reach out the local community to create LGBTQ safe zone undergraduate students that are completing an internship this summer in partnership with the Office of Multicultural Services and Programs. Currently, she is teaching macro social work, social policy, and ethnocultural issues. Her primary social work practice and interest areas include LGBTQ+ and racial and social justice. Now here is Dr. Melissa McAllister.
Hello, my name is Dr. Melissa McAllister, and I am an assistant professor in the Department of Social Work at Indiana State University. It's been about 16 years since I graduated from college, and a lot of the things have changed since then. It was around 2004. I was an advanced standing student, so I graduated in 2003 with my undergrad, and in 2004 with an advanced standing social work degree in macro practice. I remember the popular shows on TV were The Office. That's probably why it's one of my favorite TV sitcoms. And I remember the top movies were Mean Girls, Napoleon Dynamite, and The Notebook. The radio was playing Usher's Yeah, and in the news, we had just lost President Reagan, and we were about 1.5 years into the Iraq War. I had big plans for myself. I was a graduate of the University of Akron School of Social Work, and I was going to heal the world. You see, I planned to start my own nonprofit to help LGBTQ+ teens, because I was an LGBTQ+ teen at one time back in high school in 1993. And during that time, it was a very different period of time. I didn't know anybody that had identified as being gay in high school. Although I had my speculations, we used to use, different ways to communicate to people to let individuals know whether or not you were of the LGBTQ+ community, but it was never something direct. And here I find myself at graduation once again, a number of years later. My life didn't quite turn out the way that I thought that it would. I was a racial and social justice activist for many, many years. And I had always thought that I would be in some sort of macro practice advocacy, that I would be maybe into politics, definitely starting my own nonprofit organization. But right after I graduated, I started to teach. I was 27 years old, and I began teaching for the University of Akron School of Social Work. And the very first class that Dr. Fitch was my director had asked me to teach was research. And because I had worked in the community in advocacy for LGBTQ+, and I had done a lot of work. I started the first youth program for LGBTQ teens in Akron, and we put on a youth prom. It was the very first one that we had ever had in the area. And during this time, in the news, it was highly debated. This was a hot topic then, because there were many kids that wanted to bring their partner, same-sex partner, to prom and were denied. And so across the nation, this was an issue. And I remember that I was working with the Akron Area Pride Collective at the time, and they had, you know, been contacted by Newsweek to do a story. And because we had been working with teens and we didn't want to out any teenagers, we asked them not to do a story. But I did remember that the Akron Beacon Journal covered the story, and it got a lot of publicity. And this was something that led into my work in macro practice in academia, because that is the reason why Dr. Fitch had asked me to teach for them. And you know, I was just so elated and so excited for the opportunity. And I was willing to teach whatever. And so she asked me to teach research. And I remember at first thinking, wow, okay. But the kind of person that I am is somebody that if I have a heart and passion for something, I will figure it out. I will put all of my energy into it, and I will find a solution. I nearly spent about 15 years teaching in the School of Social Work at the University of Akron. And I went on to pursue my doctorate, and that was in public service leadership and human service with a specialization in nonprofit management. And I had wanted a tenured position at Akron, but it never came. And it was getting down to the time where, you know, I had graduated in 2014 with my doctorate, and it was time that I got a tenured faculty position. And so I began my process of looking. And as I started looking, I found Indiana State University. And I was debating on a couple other institutions, and it seemed that ISU was the perfect fit for me, and Terre Haute in general. I love the history of Terre Haute. I'm intrigued by it. And I'm very, very blessed and grateful to be here. And when I first started last year, I began to first look around the community at all of the LGBTQ services. And I remembered back in 2003 and 2004 when I was in Akron and I was looking for services, and there weren't any, nowhere. And that's the beauty of macro social work, is that when there is a gap in service, you create it. You create the service. So we're challenging the status quo as macro social work practitioners, and I felt that same passion and power again, because as I looked around Indiana, I saw that the Pride Festival in Indy was very large. It was very big. And then there was a Pride in Bloomington that I actually volunteered for last year. And it was also a pretty well-attended event. I saw that there was a Pride Center, beautiful Pride Center in Spencer. But when it came to Terre Haute, there wasn't anything. ISU held a Pride Paradise, which I did get involved with. But Terre Haute itself was very limited in services that they offered to LGBTQ individuals. And so I decided this semester that I would take on 3 students as an internship, and we would advocate for LGBTQ plus individuals here in Terre Haute. And we started with the Vigo County public school system. There had been, some discussion around the sex education curriculum and its lack of inclusion of LGBTQ plus teens, and so we started there. And we also decided to do a needs assessment for the community to find out exactly what the community wants and needs in regards to LGBTQ plus services. And what we found was the Human Rights Campaign does a multi-municipal equality index across the nation. And over all the years that I had worked in Northeast Ohio and in Akron, when we started, we only had about maybe 300 people that would come to our Pride festivals. Last year, we had 20,000. And the HRC had rated Akron as a 100 out of 100. And so that made me just so elated and so happy to think all that work that I had contributed to with all those individuals in the community, where we got in a decade. And it made me excited again to think, well, what could we do here in Terre Haute? When we looked at the HRC municipality index for Terre Haute, it was first year it was a 37 out of 100, which is very low. And I think a couple years later it was only into the early 40s. So what I really, really wanted to do with this internship is to kind of help students have an experience in learning how to do macro social work, but the other piece was to fill this gap. And so what I've done, what I've always done in my life, is to just keep following my heart. Had I not taken the risk to leave the University of Akron and come here to ISU, I might have never had an opportunity like I did with these 3 students this semester. It was amazing. And it continues to be amazing because we're still working together. We have about a week left, and the students are so engaged that the learning goes beyond even the internship. So although life didn't turn out exactly the way I thought it was, I don't regret any of it. I've adapted and found what has made me happy and what makes me fulfilled, and I know that you will too. And I love it here at ISU, so it was the best decision I could ever make in my life. So life doesn't always turn up the way that you thought it would. You'll experience these highs and lows of life, the difficult and easy and unfortunate things that happen. Sometimes the difficulties and not feeling like you're enough and things aren't full, smooth sailing. But your true success is when, you're defined on how you handle it. You're defined on your resiliency. You're defined on how do you bounce back once you've met a challenge. Because I'm a firm believer that, we're human beings. We should make mistakes, and we should make a lot of them. We should take risks and fail and get back up and do something else and do something again. If we're always following our heart and our passions, then we can't ever really fail, because we will learn a rich lesson in it. We will add to our knowledge base. We will, do things authentically or genuinely. So as you graduate and you take on new challenges and chances, are that you probably won't be, this famous person or this multimillionaire or first job that you want. In fact, you'll probably not get hired at the first job or the second job that you want, and you may not even get hired for the third job that you might interview with. You may never become a director or some prominent person in the community, but this is okay. The important thing in life is your relationships with other people and the process of learning, the process of living, not the outcome. It's how you go on this journey. It's, and everything that you've been doing in classes is preparing you for this. So every group that you've worked in, every essay that you've written, every certification that you've earned, it's all been preparing you to adapt to some sort of change or challenge. I know that all of those trials and tribulations that I went through back in my graduate and undergraduate degree and into my doctorate degree were preparing me for this moment, for this opportunity to be here as an assistant professor and to create these learning experiences for students, and to have this mission on, you know, racial and social justice advocacy for LGBTQ plus populations. You know, I think that that is perseverance, and perseverance can pay off as long as you don't give up. Don't give up on your heart. And I know, like with my coming out story, you know, it wasn't an easy one. So I came out in the late 90s, and you know, my family didn't talk to me for a couple years. It was awkward. You know, statements were made that, you know, were very uncomfortable. I grew up in a semi-religious family, and so I was challenged with thinking about, you know, internalized homophobia. I classify myself as a gay woman. I won't use the term lesbian because that was a derogatory term when I was growing up, although many people use it now and don't feel that it's derogatory. I also won't use the word queer, although I know that it's a very positive, affirming term. In my day, the term was a very derogatory term. So, you know, with taking on the interns for this semester for Safe Zone, we decided that we would get trained through the Safe Zone training at ISU, and then try to help organizations train individuals on understanding the culture, the terms, you know, different impacts and things that the LGBTQ plus population feel. And I learned things that I didn't know. And I've been advocating and doing this for a very, very long time. So, you know, the coming out story and being proud of who you are and being proud of, you know, your perseverance. This Lavender graduation is such an amazing opportunity to recognize your culture, your ability to get through academia and successfully go out into the world and make a difference and make a change. You've taken steps towards your successful future and the betterment of, you know, yourself and your community and your family. You've worked hard. You've spent these last months, you know, definitely new skill sets, right, in this conversion of COVID-19 into online education. You know, our world is complex. It is technical. It requires a lot of education and skill, but you're seeing how important human relationships are, because many of you are craving them, and many of you are going to be transformed from this experience. And so let me leave you with this thought, and it is a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And this is something that, you know, as I looked back through my entire, you know, career from my graduate degree and on into my PhD and to where I am now, this quote is the most important quote. Do not follow where the path may lead you. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. So you're now armed with one of the most important tools you need to forge your way in a path ahead, a path that may not have been traveled before, one that you will create, and you'll create with other people because of the importance of human relationships, and you'll build a community, and a strong one, because it's not the diploma that counts, it's about what you've learned along the way and the relationships that you've built. It's about the process, not the outcome. And what you do with your education that you've gotten your journey into graduation today is in your hands. The future is in your hands, no one else's. So seize this opportunity, and best of luck in all of your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you to Dr. Melissa McAllister. Now I will introduce our student speaker for this evening, KAYLEIGH VIEWEGH.
During my time at Indiana State University, I found one of the most supportive and inclusive communities. I felt proud to identify as what I was comfortable with here, and I found so many welcoming arms within this community here at Indiana State. The faculty members have been very supportive and have worked alongside the students to truly provide a place of comfort for those of the LGBT community. and have allowed me to meet many allies who also provide so much support for us. Indiana State's LGBT community not only presents themselves as helpful and supportive, but they have made my time here enjoyable. Allies and members of the community both, you are about to begin one of the biggest journeys in life, post-graduation. And not only will you all continue to be a wonderful example of what a community should be like, but you all will leave an impressionable mark not only on your peers, but on the world around you. Indiana State's LGBT community has not only helped me become my true self, but I've seen it influence many other students, allies, and members alike. I hope the experiences you have had remain with you for many, many years to come, and that you all continue to be the world-changing individuals you are meant to be. And I leave you with perhaps one of the most influential quotes that I can. It comes from Lin-Manuel Miranda's own sonnet. He said, "Love is love is love is love. It cannot be killed or swept aside. Now fill the world with music, love, and pride." Congratulations, you all. Thank you, and good luck, Sycamores.
Thank you, Haley. Now it's time for our alumni video presented by Zach Moore.
Hello, Sycamores, and congratulations. Even though things are out of sorts right now, we wanted to honor your achievement of graduating and your special contributions to our entire campus community.
Today, we acknowledge your unique identities and spirit that contribute to our diverse Sycamore family. We, the Lavender alumni, colleagues, and friends of Indiana State University, congratulate you on this incredible milestone and welcome you to our network of LGBTQIA alumni.
Each of us have been poised where you are now, be it continuing your education, embarking on your career, or in some other way putting your hard-earned degree to work.
We know you will take with you all the lessons learned inside and out of the classroom at Indiana State and carry with you the fighting Sycamore spirit. So once again, congratulations, and keep marching on.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Sycamores.
Hey there, Sycamores. Congratulations. It's graduation time to my spring 2020 Lavender grads. I know you wish that you could probably be here, but guess what? It still doesn't take away the fact that you are a graduate. You are officially a graduate of Indiana State University. This is one of the biggest accomplishments of your life. So take some time to give yourself a big round of applause, maybe get you a little cake, something to celebrate with. We are so proud of you, and you're going to do amazing things. Congratulations. Have a great year.
For their hard work and achievements that they have conquered during their college career. I would also like to thank Dr. Irvin, Dr. McAllister, William Edwards, Zach Moore, Haley VIEWEGH, Martha Reed, and the alum for their participation tonight. Please be on the lookout for future events that MSP holds through Fall 20 and Spring 2021. Remember that you did it. Even though you are leaving Indiana State University, just know that multicultural services and programs will always be here for you. Once a Sycamore, always a Sycamore.